Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut. How are you all? This is Kathy speaking, and the messenger is here. I hope that you're all doing well. Happy 4th of July for those of you that are celebrating in the US and in Canada, of course. Happy celebrations, safe celebrations. Hope everything goes well on your holiday and you take a bit of time to relax. So it is the 4th of July of 2023, and I thought I might take the Botticelli deck today, and I will be using the Numerology Oracle card as we've just had a full moon in Capricorn. So the moon has just filled out in the constellation of Capricorn. Something has come to a completion, to an ending. You know, full moons can also be an aha moment where, yeah, it can be stressful because there is opposing energies, right? The sun is like in opposition to the moon. It's like saying, I dare you to look at the truth. I dare you to see what's been hidden, what's been deceptive, or what's been talking to you in your subconscious and you don't want to listen to it. So what is challenging with the energies today, and it's not going to be a very easy one, even though this full moon was in great aspect with Jupiter. But it's all good. I mean, a full moon in Capricorn in a Saturn ruled sign can never really be easy. It's a very sobering and maturing and a cold, emotionally cold moon, as you know, the ruling planet of Capricorn being Saturn is a cold energy, a very sobering, limiting. But it seemed to be a pretty good full moon. But now after the full moon, as the moon is coming up to Pluto at the last degrees of Capricorn, which isn't an easy degree. Okay, and Pluto is all about change and death and letting go and things pertaining to secrets, connections, to information pertaining to the elite, to the bureaucrats, to the governments, to people who are in power. And it's a very forceful meeting. Speaking of the word forceful, it's a very transformative. It's like we're being forced to shed, to let go, to not fear looking into what's dark and what's been hidden. Okay, as the moon starts to wane. Remember, Pluto is squaring over to the node, so fated events pertaining to power struggles, those in power, right? Those secrets that they're trying to keep hidden. You know, Pluto is anything that is secretive, anything pertaining to scandals and anything to do with sex. Remember, Pluto rules Scorpio. Sex or power struggles or riches connected to sex, to those lower vibrations of Pluto, I'm going to say. So it's going to be a little bit challenging, as the moon will also be squaring over to the nodes and on top of Pluto. And so therefore the next few hours may be quite what's the word I'm looking for? Emotionally not only revealing, but also very much about change and going through like a dark emotional moment, right? And the moon doesn't only speak to our emotions, it speaks to things connected to our home, to where we reside, our country, anything to do with our securities, connected to nurturing. Let's see what the message is, as I feel called to take a message now. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance. We've got to be to be fair, and it's in the reverse. So something isn't fair, right? It's a number 38. The scales are at an imbalance here. So let's see what's going on. 38 equals 11. Let's see. The reverse message. It could also speak to some sort of a decision, anything connected to legalities, equal giving and receiving, not receiving what is fair and what is just. The moon also speaks to the people on a collective scale. It speaks to the people. So the moon now that has just filled out and is waning. Waning means loss. Pluto could speak to loss. It could speak to physical loss. It could speak to laws that are passed that are unfair to humanity. And we've seen all the trouble going on in France, and it's starting to spread. People are starting to push back. It's like there's a lot of stirring of the pot, pushing people to a breaking point. So be careful. Be careful today with fireworks and all these things. Remember that when people are starting to push back and speak up, remember that those in power fear of losing control, and that's what Pluto and Capricorn is. But the story's already been written. It's written in the stars. They're grabbing at straws, trying to hold on to the power. The power is changing. It's going from the few to the many, as Pluto is going to enter again, will re-enter Aquarius, and Aquarius is humanity. Let's see what the protection message is. Injustice and inequity are part of life, but they do not have to define your experience. This is a time when you may observe an injustice righted and fairly redressed. Well, that's nice. Perhaps you come to the rescue of someone else or are called to answer for a personal slight. You will be amazed by the sense of power that surges through you when you stand up for yourself and others. And that's the moon coming onto Pluto as well. Fighting against the odds, pushing back against the grain, going against, that's the Aquarian energy. As all star seeds in the world are starting to awaken and awaken those that are still in their slumber. Remember, we are moving towards the age of Aquarius, my dear friends. And as I said, it's like a changing of the guards, where the power goes now to the many and not to the few. Okay, so it speaks to standing up for yourself, and that's what's going on in a few countries, which started from France. I'm sending my best wishes to those of you residing in France. I know it won't be easy there. This card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. And this is what Divine Debut 11 is here to do as well. Okay, we are the minority, and you could see that. And a very good friend of mine, Anna, pointed out that she needed to search to find our videos here, because obviously Divine Debut 11 is not being held back from sending notifications to our subscribers. Think of it, we've got 100,000 subs and no one is getting notified. And a few people have told me recently that even though they've pressed on the bell, unsubscribed, subscribed again, and then they're still not getting notified. You need to do a manual search. Always search for Divine Debut 11 and you will see the videos that have been uploaded. Sorry about that interruption, but it just came to me. A special thank you to Anna and to those of you that are commenting about these things, so that other people can be aware of what's going on. Okay, so this card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. choose your cause and commit to it, because you can make a difference. See, this is what an amazing message we have today. Even if we're going against the grain, it does make a difference. Even one person makes a big difference, dear friends. One thing is for certain: if fairness is your intention, the situation will be resolved for the highest good of all concerned through acts of kindness, empathy, and courage. That's what Divine Debut 11 is all about, and especially those of you that are here and that are very loyal. I feel that you are all part of our tribe here, and it's an honor having you with me. Anyway, let me stop mumbling on. I'm going to take the Spirit of the Animals Oracle at the end. I want to also look at this, the Moonology, but let's take the Tarot first. Now, for those of you that are on Patreon, we've uploaded the first 6 signs from Aries all the way to Virgo, the individual love readings on Patreon. To my dear patrons, thank you for your patience. It is really hot, really hot in Greece, but I'm still pushing through. I got 6 done yesterday. I've got another 6 to do. Give me a couple more days, today, tomorrow. Thank you for being with us on Patreon, and thank you to all who share, like, comment, subscribe, and are here every single day. Let's see what's going on. Remember, these are general readings. They may or may not resonate with you. And I just wanted to mention a beautiful lady mentioned today. You know who you are. That Mercury being so close to the sun is invisible, and he is, because on the 1st of July we had a Mercury-Sun conjunction, which, energized Mercury. Mercury was dining with the king, which is the sun. But Mercury still being so close as he's moving away from the sun is invisible because of the rays of the sun, and he's also burnt, combust, which means he loses his power. And my phone has been playing up. It's like a Mercury retrograde, really. And I was mentioning the other day on the Divine Spread on Sunday that I just could not, my words were jumbled. I could not think, things were coming out of my mouth that I did not expect. And I said, that's it. I'm not going to start the individuals. No way. So it was all about Mercury, and Mercury is also out of bounds, which says we may be blurting things out of our mouth that we don't expect. We could be having tough conversations. I mean, Mercury out of bounds is like a Uranus energy. Mercury, or the logic, going crazy. And we've seen a lot of craziness in the world, right? It's like a world that is upside down. An upside down, a reversed world is what we are in at this moment. So don't think you're going mad. You're sane. You are sane. Especially those of you that are here, you're keeping sane by understanding how the energies work. Those that do not follow astrology and do not understand the energies, they're the ones that could lose it. Okay, so giving you a heads up for being here. You are very aware and awake, and stay with me and as we read and understand the energies. Dear Spirit, what's going on? What is going on? 4th of July, 2023, in this mad world, what is going on? We have the 10 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So much earth could feel very heavy. Remember, we had a full moon in Capricorn. It is an earth sign, but it's a cardinal earth sign, which says we're completing something. It could have to do with career. Capricorn is usually our goals and our career and what we aspire to achieve and create. Of course, Capricorn is the leader, even though Leo would like to be in charge. In actual fact, it's Capricorn that holds the throne, right? The position of power, the emperor. That's why Capricorn for me comes up a lot with the Emperor, even though it's an Aries energy. So something has completed here. It could, as I said, have to do with work, or it has to do with your goals or your reputation or what you're looking to achieve in your life. Now, finances, obviously, we go to work for the money. We don't work for free, right? We do. We act. We provide a service through actions many times and don't get paid for all our services, of course, but we need to survive and we need to put food on the table for ourselves and our beloveds. So something has completed, but we're coming up to some sort of a pushback here, some sort of a fated event which revolves around, it can be very much about fear and stress, of course, but also there's something like some sort of a thought or an emotional situation that sort of grounded us. That's what Capricorn Moon does, and which probably will be the seed to something that is beginning after an ending. And we see that in the Ace of Pentacles. And it speaks to security, stability. This could speak to a new home, a new job, a new position, anything, a new relationship, whatever this is for you personally. Right, we've got the Three of Pentacles, which is collaboration, possibly with work. Ten of Pentacles, remember, does speak to an ending, or an ending of a cycle and a restart. It can have to do with family, collaboration, some sort of a business, a new business deal, completing something where there's been a sense of prosperity, or you feel like you've manifested something, but it's a restart here. Now the Ten of Pentacles, which can speak to marriage and family. There is some sort of an ending, which could be very grounding, very humbling, very maturing as well, which was that full moon. Let's continue. We have the Seven of Wands, and we've got Chiron, the wounded healer here. And Chiron is generally in a very good aspect with Venus in Leo. Chiron is in Aries. Aries is the ram, it's the warrior, it's the spark, it's the ignition, it's the desire to find a resolution pertaining to maybe poisonous thoughts about some sort of an ending, anything to do with holistic or physical healing. Venus does help, and she's going to return back to the area she's in now in Leo when she's going to retrograde. So this is very important, obviously, for the cardinal signs. With Chiron, cardinal signs born around the second decan of Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. And this full moon was at the 11th degree of Capricorn, so we could say it was in square to Chiron, which means that we're initiating something to find a resolution around some sort of a healing. Could have to do with our past, could have to do with our securities, our money, maybe even fears about being up on stage, a fear of not having the confidence to act out, to take charge. And going back to who's the boss, obviously Capricorn is above Leo, and it's the Venus and Mars now transiting in Leo is all about having the confidence, knowing that coming from a place of heart and taking a risk, we can create. There's inspiration, there's the courage to push through, even though there can be sobering and challenging aspects to something that we need to complete and let go of. So remember that Chiron, he was a centaur. He's the son of Saturn, so he felt excluded. All the centaurs in mythology, they were not allowed on the inside of the walls of the city. They were banned from entering because they were different, they were weird. So remember what the message was talking about being the odd one out. But Chiron was also a warrior. He was a teacher. He was spiritually inclined. He had knowledge of everything. He's the teacher of the gods. He was the teacher of Achilles, of all the warriors. He was a very good teacher in every subject. So even if you feel like you're the odd one out, there's great wisdom here and many opportunities, and you will be called to fight for some sort of a cause. It could be in your personal life, it could be on a collective scale as well. Even if you stand out as the weird one, then you need to trust that you're on the right track and that you're doing the right thing. Logically, Seven of Wands says that Chiron, the odd one out, has got the upper hand. Those few, the minority, as a few leaders tend to say, it's the minority, when in actual fact, as I said, this world is an upside down world at this time. So don't think you're losing it. You can make sense of what's going on. It's all about power and trying to hold on to that. Now, Chiron in Aries. Aries is a new cycle. It's initiation, new beginnings, right? We've got the Queen of Wands here. Wow, very much the Leo energy. Doesn't have to be. It could be Aries, could be Sag. Queen of Wands, she knows how powerful she is. And we've got the yin energy. Well, she's a queen, but she's more yang. So she overcomes. She knows that she's got the power to create this great inspiration, dear friends, in the Leo season, which is just ahead of us. But I'm talking about the Leo season because Venus and Mars are there, and we're just around the corner from it. And of course, the Leo season will spark a lot of challenges. What Spirit is saying is that we can create through fire. Of course, fire is all about creation. The fire is within. That burning internal fire, that flame, is what is inspiration, so that we could create, we could come together. Remember that the Queen of Wands, she's very much about leadership. This could be talking about a feminine archetype, figure, leader in the world that could be showing up at this time, right? Who is possibly leading a minor group of people, a small group of people. Now, of course, she's all about career. She's all about desire. She's all about play. She's all about fun. She's all about those riches. And, of course, diamonds are a girl's best friend. That's how I see Leo. Leo is anything that shines, anything that is of value, but through risk. Through taking a risk, we can create. And remember also, Leo is very much about the inner child. So this time could also be bringing up wounds pertaining to the past. Some of you may have lost a mother or someone who was very nurturing, very loving, right? Because Chiron could also be those wounds, those childhood wounds where it is Cancer season. Memory could be coming through. Cancer is all about the memory and the past, past lifetimes, our childhood, maybe even when we were in our mother's womb, right? So pay attention, and I want to wish you a happy birthday if you're celebrating today, my dear Cancer. We have the Strength card. Leo comes through. Leo comes through, and the Strength card speaks to confidence and trust and believing in your higher self, taming also that wild internal beast, that interior kundalini, that interior fire, that interior desire. It's a time to hold back. Now, it's called the Strength card, but it's the Justice card. It's a number 11. So, well, in other decks, it would be the Justice card. So it's really interesting that we had to be fair in the reverse. Okay? So It is the Strength card in this deck, and of course the Strength card is Leo, and Leo is the Sun. So the Sun being in Cancer right now is in a still connecting really well to Saturn in Pisces, so where themes pertaining to the home or some sort of healing connected to the home and the past. The Sun does bring clarity, it brings healing, it brings fun, it also brings a yang energy to the yin. It's like the yin and the yang coming together to work as a team, and that would be this energy here in the Strength card for me. What is at the bottom? And we've got the Hermit. So we've got number, well, it's 11 here. Usually the Strength card is an 8, and the Hermit, of course, is a number 9. The Hermit, of course, is the ability to see the light, going within, soul searching. Now, what I don't like about the Hermit in this deck is that he's on his knees. It does speak to humbling, obviously, but I would say that, yes, being humbled and being down to earth is a good thing, but it depends on who he's bowing to. There's great philosophy in the Hermit. There's wisdom, there's guidance. Some of you may be seeking guidance from someone that has got the light, from someone that is very spiritually inclined. And to me, what I get from this energy, because ahead of us, we've got, a drum roll. We've got very important things going on astrologically. Just around the corner, a major shift, right, as the nodes are changing signs from Taurus, Scorpio into Aries, Libra. It's going to be a time when we need to be like this. We need to be calm, cool, collected. We need to understand that there's a bigger picture that we may not understand about what's going on. Remember, the Hermit sees the light, and he's one step before the wheel of fate, the wheel of karma turning, right? And of course, the wheel of fate is justice. We're just a moment before that, because the to be fair was in the reverse. So major arcana, very important. Virgo comes through. Virgo is all about healing. Opposite is Pisces, so it could speak to physical or emotional healing, as we do have Chiron here, which could also speak to psychological wounds of not being good enough, self-doubt. All these things could be coming through. So Mercury close to the Sun, of course, this could be information that Mercury is going to bring to us, which is going to be very challenging in the next few days, as Mercury is going to oppose Pluto. So Mercury is going to bring from the underworld things pertaining to those who hold the power in the world, and it is connected to health, to themes pertaining to children, information about scandals, sex, propaganda. All these themes will be coming through. The world is going to be shaken this month, my dear friends. It's a very important month. What's beneath here? We've got the Three of Swords, you see. Some sort of a disappointment, being humbled, needing to see what the truth is. Knowledge is very freeing, even though it can be very challenging, can bring someone to their knees. This will set them free from any use of power, psychological, physical, emotional, financial, anything that's used as power. Right? 9 of Wands, having gone through a lot. Okay. Wow, what messages do we receive today? Let's see what's going on emotionally. And I know the messenger is here, should be a shorter message, but I'm not doing them that often. So I'd like to hear if you enjoy this reading. If you enjoy, if you agree with what I'm saying. Wow, okay. You're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon. Very close to achieving a goal. Thank you, Spirit. Meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces. A new moon in Pisces. Well, maybe something is completing. We're going to have a full moon end of August. So maybe something that you wished upon on the new moon in Pisces sometime in March is going to culminate. And that could have to do with some major ending. Pisces is an ending. It's the 12th natural sign. Yeah, and I'm tying that in with this message here. Close to achieving your goals. It could be what you wished upon in March this year. And a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Now that is just around the corner. That, my God, is going to be a solar eclipse. That's going to be an eclipse, a very powerful new moon. And that will be October 14th. So it won't only be a new moon in Libra, it will be a solar eclipse in Libra on the axis Libra Aries. So very important for the cardinal signs. We've all got the cardinal energies somewhere in our chart. And the scales we have again. Now, to be fair, was in the reverse. Some of you are leaving unhealthy, unfair relationships. Some of you could be going through separation or divorce, or this doesn't have to be only a romantic. It could also be a business partnership. And that's what Venus retrograde in Leo will be all about. Venus is love. It is partnerships. It is money and security. And as the nodes are going to ingress into Aries, Libra, relationships, partnerships that have been unequal are going. It's a time of clearing the slate. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. Wow. Thank you, dear Spirit. Thank you, dear Spirit. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn, which happened yesterday. So if that's not on point, then I don't know what is. Obviously, it speaks to the end of a tough cycle. So that is really, really promising. I want to take three Lenormand on the outcome card here, which is the strength card. Now we know aces are gifts, they are opportunities. Some of you may feel you are not good enough, but you are. There is a lot of self-doubt here. A lot of self-doubt. Someone's gone through heavy, humbling and lessons. But it's all about self-empowerment, I'm going to say. It's all about self-empowerment. And the scales are turning. The wheel is turning. We have the moon. There we go. Right on point. We have the garden where Venus is in. She's rebirthed here. We see her in the fountain here, and this is the Garden of Eden. And we've got the cross. It's your trust and your belief that got you to the success, I'm going to say. And for those of you that are almost there, keep going. The cross is obviously, it could be like the 10 of Wands. And we saw that here. We saw that. You're close to the end. We've got a couple of 10s here. Remember, I feel it's mainly the Hermit, which is the 9. Now, today is the 4th. Pay attention to the 9th of the month. And because the cross is also a 36, which equals a 9. At the bottom, we have the Scythe, and there's another 10. So it is talking about endings, no doubt. The Scythe is very Scorpio. The Scythe can be very cutting. It's Pluto and Scorpio. It can speak to danger. Be careful. The energies are quite harsh still. You may be going through some reckoning, or there's nemesis, there's karma going on. It can be very accidental. Be careful, because Venus is squaring over to Uranus, and Mars still squares Uranus in Taurus from Leo. decisions may be challenging, they may be hard, but they could also be very quick endings, quick clearing, a clearing of the slate, anything to do with money as well. So connected to work and our securities. There's number 11 and the whip. Two difficult, two challenging energies which we need to go through to get to the other side. Because this spoke of romance, let's take the romance angels just quickly and see what's going on in love. Now we will be coming up to a new moon in Cancer, which won't be an easy one, on the 17th. So it's around the corner, and a new moon means a seed. We've got romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So there is romance. It speaks twice about romance. Wow, everyone. Wow. Wow, everyone. And we've got release your ex. There's a soulmate here. Yes, this is your soulmate. The time has come to clear your energy. Release your ex. Make space in your life. Let's take one more. And we've got a wedding. Some of you, there is potential for another wedding here, another long-term relationship. Now, some of you may have met a soulmate and you're still with your ex. You are in a marriage, in a commitment. Speaking of commitment, because Juno has recently started a brand new cycle in Gemini, and Gemini is all about decisions, right? We will be looking at the little details towards the second part of the year when Juno is going to retrograde in Virgo. So it will be about discernment and purification of your life. Where your commitments and your service is concerned to the world. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So I guess that we've come full circle. That is beautiful. Let's take a message from the Spirit of the Animals Oracle and close up this reading. I know many of you are off work, so you may have extra time. You can watch this reading. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. It always helps the channel. And thank you for considering joining our community on Patreon. We will be looking at the Venus retrograde. In the next few days, I will be preparing a very important analysis on the synodic cycle of Venus, the Venus star point and the Venus retrograde. Let's see what the message is today. Giraffe and visionary. And you know the Hermit is also a visionary. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. That is gorgeous. Standing tall and standing above anything that is lower, in the lower vibrational energies that have been playing out. Stand tall. This can also speak to some sort of success where someone's going to feel or made to feel very tall. And this is, of course, visionary. It's like a bird, a different viewpoint from a higher perspective, higher level. And I'm going to say for those that think that they're above others and look down on others, that's another thing altogether. That's not healthy. That will be penalized, obviously, from spirit. So there's always an opposing energy, negative energy to a positive. We need to balance out the scales. So the middle ground, dear friends, the middle ground. That's what I always say, okay? And this could also speak to those who are visionaries and have got a different perspective and can see things more clearly and are not so much about the earthly realm and the earthly matters and the finances only, okay? There's more to life than just the physical. There's more to life than just feeling secure in materialism. We are not only humans, we are also connected to spirit. We are star seeds. Okay, so trust in that, trust in your higher self, trust in the messages, the signs that you receive. They are not coincidental. Okay, so we will leave it there. What a reading, my dear friends. I hope that this helped. Thank you so much for all that you do. I'm wishing you well on this 4th of July of 2023. Namaste, and I will be back tomorrow, more than likely, for a twin flame. It is Wednesday tomorrow, right? Today's Tuesday. More than likely, I will be back tomorrow. Love you all. Lots. Namaste.